Growing plants. Some processes such as respiration and nutrition are vital for the survival of the organisms. Organisms produce more of their own kind by the process called reproduction. All plants reproduce. If they did not reproduce, they would become extinct. Plants reproduce in different ways. Growing plants from seeds. Seeds are produced in fruits. When a plant attains a certain age, it begins to produce flowers. From flowers, fruits are produced. The fruit protects the seeds. When the seeds are fully formed, the fruit ripens. Some fruits have only one seed, some have a few seeds, while others have many seeds. The structure of a seed. There are three main parts of a seed: the seed coat, the embryo, and the cotyledon. The seed coat protects the embryo and cotyledon. The embryo is the new tiny plant. The cotyledon is the seed leaves or the food for the new plant. Seeds with one cotyledon are called monocots. Seeds with two cotyledon are called dicots. Seeds are scattered by wind, water, and animals. Some seeds have adaptations that help them travel in the wind. A seed will produce a baby plant or seedling only if it will get the right amount of soil, water, air, and sunlight. The small baby plant which grows from a seed is known as a seedling. The seedling gets its food from the cotyledon till it forms new green leaves. Germination of seed. Germination is the process by which a plant grows from a seed. As water is taken in, the seed swells bigger and bigger until the coat splits apart. Air can then get to the seed. The oxygen in the air helps the baby plant burn the food packed inside the seed. Burning the food produces energy. The baby plant uses the energy to grow. The root begins to grow downward and the baby stem begins to curl upward. Soon the baby plant is not a baby anymore. Dispersal of seeds. It is important for the seeds to be dispersed away from each other and from the parent plant. Dispersal enables species to take advantage of new opportunities and to survive if conditions for the parent plant become unsuitable. The process of scattering of seeds or fruits from the mother plant is called dispersal. Plants are fixed to the soil, but dispersal is carried out by many agents in nature. Dispersal by wind. Seeds of some plants like dandelion and cotton are very light. They have special parts such as hair or wings-like structure which help them to be blown around with the breeze or wind. Dispersal by water. Seeds of plants like lotus and coconut are spongy or have a fibrous covering which helps them to float on water. Water carries these seeds from one place to another. Dispersal by animals. Many fruits are sweet and juicy. Animals and birds like to eat such fruits. The seeds of these fruits pass through their excreta which are released at different places. This can be far away from the parent plant. Seeds of jamun, cherry, apple, etc. are dispersed in this way. Dispersal by explosion. Some plants like the ladyfingers, balsam, and peas have fruits which on drying explode or burst open. The seeds are released with an explosion which disperses them far away. Growing plants through vegetative parts. Besides growing new plants from seeds, there are other ways in which new plants grow from the vegetative parts of the parent plant. Underground stems, stem cutting, roots, and leaves of certain plants grow into new plants. Growing plants from roots. Roots absorb nutrients and moisture, anchor the plant in the soil, and support the stem. Food is stored in the roots of carrot, radish, turnip, dahlia, etc. New plants can grow from these roots. Growing plants from stems. Some stems perform the function of storage of food like potato, ginger, and turmeric. New plants grow from these stems. A potato has buds called eyes on its surface. Any piece of potato with an eye can grow into a new plant. Money plant, rose, hibiscus, and sugarcane are some plants which grow from stem. If we cut a stem from these plants and plant it in the soil, it will grow into a new plant. Growing plants from leaves. In Bryophyllum, the leaves bear leaf buds which originate along the leaf margins. The leaf buds gradually develop some roots. When the leaves bearing these leaf buds fall down and the roots touch the soil, new plants grow from the buds. Agriculture. Plants which are grown in large areas for food or other uses are called crops. The practice of growing plants on a large scale is called agriculture. Agriculture is the primary source of livelihood for a majority of Indians. In most parts of India, the main crops are grown into two cycles. Winter crops are known as Rabi crops. Summer crops are known as Kharif crops. Crops like wheat and gram are grown in winters. These are Rabi crops. Crops like rice, jawar and bajra are grown in summers. These are Kharif crops. Various stages in agriculture. Plugging. The process of loosening and turning up the soil is called plugging. It loosens the soil and improves the water holding capacity of soil. Sowing. The process of putting the seeds in the soil is called sowing. Seeds are either scattered by hands or with a seed drill at a correct depth. Adding manure and fertilizers. Manure and fertilizers are added to the soil to provide the required nutrients to the plants. Manure is made from plants and animals' waste, while fertilizers are made from chemicals like nitrogen, potassium, or compost. Irrigation. Irrigation is the supply of water to the crops in the fields from wells and canals through channels and sprinklers. Irrigation is done by using animals like bullocks or by using pumps. Protecting crops. When the crops grow, they need to be protected from insects and pests. Pesticides are sprayed on the crops as a preventive measure. Harvesting and winnowing. Once the crops ripen, they are cut and collected. This process is known as harvesting. Harvesting can be done by hands or by machines. Winnowing is done to separate the husk from the seeds by dropping them from a certain height. Storing grains. Grains are dried completely and then stored safely in containers or sacks in dry places. A large amount of grains are stored in large containers called silos. Fruits and vegetables are stored in cold storages.